My channel, my YouTube channel specifically, feels like an epic fail, right? Like it absolutely sucks. Whether or not that is true is a different story. That's debatable, or it could be debatable. It's just all relative, depends on the viewer. Some people may like, some people may not like. But right now, YouTube is telling me that my channel sucks. Like I said, whether or not that's true, that's what it feels like right now. And I can say that without any without feeling necessarily bad about it. I'm able to look at things from a neutral standpoint. And I know we say, people generally say that as individuals or as people, we tend to be our own worst critics, right? But right now, I don't need to be I'm just basically looking at what YouTube is telling me, right? Whether it's the analytics, like the views or lack thereof, whether it's by subscriber count, whatever the case may be, right? I have basically plateaued, stagnated, and now it's time for me to start doing things differently. Okay, if I, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? And so things I've got to mix it up some way, somehow, right? I've been posting videos every single day nonstop since December 1st of 2024. And so that puts me now at roughly 151 days of back-to-back videos. That's including this video right here. And I did all of this hoping to see like some kind of significant growth in the channel, right? Possibly, get to what we all aspire to, right? That's 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. And it's, again, I'm not necessarily expecting to have to have hit those milestones, right? I didn't necessarily expect to have hit those milestones by now. But I would have hoped for a little bit better, right? Am I devastated or my heart broken? Nah, no, no. Like going into all of this, I already knew from the get go that despite what everybody was saying or all the trending videos as far as YouTube being on easy mode and YouTube monetizing small creators in 30 days and all that type of stuff, I knew that was, at least in my eyes anyway, that was just something that was trending. And that's something, even if it was true, that was going to be true for the overwhelming minority, right? The overwhelming majority, where I fall, is what tends to be the more likely scenario. Okay. Now, are there things, like I said, like I did mention, I need to start doing things differently. And today is the last day of the month, right? Last day, April 30th. May 1st, so I'm looking to maybe switch things around, do something different, start using some tools, maybe start looking at some courses and some type stuff, right? University of Freedom, I'm sorry, University of freebie stuff is all out there, right? People always talk about why bother, I mean, like, why spend money on courses when all the information's all the way is out there for free, right? Whatever the case may be. Uh there's some things that there's some things that I'm going to start doing, like for example, making use of certain tools, right? Some really essential tools. I've been looking at a few, and like I said, I will mention them once I do decide on which ones. There are two that I'm looking at right now. I don't want to. I obviously don't want to use both. Actually, there's three that I'm looking at, and so I'm looking to just pick one of them, right? Because they all cost money and they do relatively similar things. There's just no point having all three of them. So I'm just gonna look at one, and these are supposed to be tools that give you more insights into, like, how your channel's performing, suggestions and things that you could do, certain keywords that you could go after, and all that type of stuff, right? But right now, the needle is just not moving, right? For those of you who have been paying attention and have been, those of you that have been subscribed for a while, you'll see that I've basically kind of stagnated. I've kind of plateaued right now. And I need to change. In fact, I'm going to change. Um, well, yeah, I'm gonna make the effort to change the nature of the stuff that I'm posting. Now, what are one of the key differences? One of the key significant differences that I've seen between channels in my space, right, in my niche that are doing extremely well with a lot less content and mine, right? Because we're talking here about digital marketing, affiliate marketing, online business, financial independence, right? Building and all that type stuff. The key difference, right? And I've known this right from the start, right? I've known this right from the beginning. Things that, I've said it before, the things that you're not willing to share on your channel, those are the things that will actually help your channel grow, right? If you want to maintain a certain degree of privacy, it basically it basically holds you back in a sense, right? Because people in general are nosy, right? We always want to know what's going on in other people's lives, like what in other people's finances, how they're doing here, how much money they're making, all that type of stuff, right? That's the content. Those are the kind of things that really, they really move the needle in essence, right? So I can talk all day till my face turns blue, right? Anyway, I don't need to get anyway. I can talk all day long about affiliate marketing, digital marketing, and all this type stuff, and I might not necessarily get that much traction if I'm not doing this one thing that I see a lot of the other channels doing, which tends to help. Once people start showing results, right? They start showing like what kind of results they're getting, if they're making sales and all that type stuff, right? All of a sudden it's like seeing is believing. So people look at that and they're like, ooh, okay, this person actually does know what they're talking about. Maybe I should really pay attention to what they're doing. And I've noticed that even on the few videos that I've ever showed on my channel that I reveal some degree of, like little sales or things that are actually happening, money that's made, those videos they seem to perform a little bit better, okay? So I'm looking at, I'm thinking now I need to start going back into, not back, because it's not like I was doing it a ton before, but now I need to start relying, if I want to grow a little bit more quickly, and I would say, it's probably the same. You can go look all over the place. The channels that tend to reveal more in terms of numbers and show proof of how they're, of everything that's happening, those tend to be the ones that grow. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say grow, like they tend to, I don't know, blow up the word, or grow, whatever the case is, but they seem to gain a lot more traction. I've seen people who are in this basically very similar space that I am, and doing similar kind of videos, right, with nowhere nearly as many videos as I have. In fact, even just a quarter, like, but then the subscriber count is more than double that of mine, right? Now, we always talk, people always say you shouldn't compare yourselves to other channels and all that type of stuff, but I think it's actually important. I think it's actually a good thing to compare to see where things could be, to gauge where I shouldn't say should be, but where you could be, right? It's always important. Like, when I see other people that are doing better than me, I don't look at that as competition, right? I look at it as education, an opportunity to learn. Okay, so if someone's doing better than you, and they are, like, say, maybe on a similar playing field as you, um that should not be stuff to envy. Like, you should learn from that, right? You should learn from that, because clearly they're doing something right that you're not. So they should look at it as that's an opportunity to learn, and that's basically what I have learned with what I'm doing so far, right? So, hey, if sharing results and numbers is the name of the game, right? then maybe that's what I need to start doing more of. Okay, I understand a lot of people might not necessarily show those results or share those results because they really don't have any results to share. Okay, and I have had some comments from people in the past mention stuff like that to me, like maybe the reason why I don't show stuff is because I don't have anything to show, because maybe I really don't know how to do any of this stuff that I talk about. So why should they follow? I mean, there is an argument to be made there. But anyway, that's it for now. It's just to let you know, new month. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Keep on pushing through, and I'll be making some changes. If you want to get access to the training that I'm using right now to grow on Threads, which is what I've been working on, check out the first link in the description below this video. Thanks for watching. Ciao.